dope video I just watched that was speaking about how people are becoming more narcissistic because of social media. And I actually want to add something onto that. Not only have people become more narcissistic, but as a consequence of being forced to exist almost totally on these social media platforms for that duration of COVID and not truly have a sense of community connected during that or reestablish a sense of in-person community and engagement after that, I think a lot of people forgot that they are not their internet identity. Whether it comes to dating, like, and engaging with people, you actually have to endure the date and the conversation. Like, you can't just, I'm tired of you, swipe right, swipe left. You can't just, like, scroll when you get bored of something. Like, you actually have to sit there and engage with human beings and be disappointed and be surprised and attempt to engage, like put yourself there instead of just expect to be fed. Like, social media feeds us engagement, feeds us entertainment, feeds us things to believe in, but never really expects us to meet like it halfway and actually actualize any of those things it's giving to us. So the problem with community now that I'm seeing is that not only are people afraid to go out in the world and be themselves, they're almost just going out into the world to be like little surveillance cameras looking at everybody, or waiting for a social media viral post they can make about somebody else. But most people, they don't want community. Even when they say it on here, like, oh, we need third spaces, we need community. No. We would have that if people wanted that. What people want is to go outside and have a bunch of background characters there that are going to fully accommodate whatever made up role they're playing in their life at that moment. And then they're going to be disappointed if the world shows them a different reality or reflects them a different version of themselves than they're willing to accept. And then they're going to blame the entire world for not being safe or welcoming enough in community. And we don't hold space for other people. I don't genuinely think we hold any space for other people and like the fullness of who they are beyond like that surface level identity. So we take super, super complex people and human beings and attempt to rationalize those human experiences that we're supposed to have an awareness in. We attempt to rationalize them with what random people are saying on social media that validate the feelings we're feeling inside, rather than confronting the situation and then being able to accept the consequences of whatever it is for whatever it is. What I'm trying to say with all of this, hopefully it's making sense, but tech companies have sold us an illusion of community. And that illusion is the fact that we are all just simply existing online, not the fact that we are actually complementing each other or we're actually building something, whether it's a culture or a community or some kind of consciousness that can actually better humanity or society outside of this virtual fake world that is the internet, that was just born less than 30 years ago, 30, 40 years ago. So it's like, if you think about that, we as people who exist on the internet might be in a digital psychosis, and our whole entire social culture is now at the mercy of this psychosis that we exist in because of this virtual world. And we've grown so codependent onto this virtual world that now we are being forced to choose between letting it go completely and starting from scratch, or continuing this path of convenience. Actually, I may be getting too deep into this conversation here. Just let me know what you think about the first part. The crows have told me to keep going, so let me finish what I was saying here. I'm going to shoot a crazy theory out for the next like 25, 50 years. Artificial intelligence is going to be sold to the masses as like some personalized slave, the ultimate form of convenience for the private owner who can own it, who can access it. I don't know what wealth class that'll be. I don't know if it's going to be like the iPhone that gets accessible to everybody or a lot of people, or it's going to be like the VR goggles that's only accessible to tech bros in Silicon Valley. But artificial intelligence, this final industrial revolution, I start to believe, is going to be the ultimate convenience. But think about this. I talk about personal responsibility a lot on my YouTube channel, but specifically relating to this, a world of ultimate convenience means that you've sacrificed total responsibility of your life for the full reality that you are being fed. You are at the mercy of whoever owns that reality and whatever desire they have for you, because you've sacrificed responsibility for this ultimate version of convenience, whether it's a virtual reality world like Ready Player One, whether it is a chip that goes inside your head and like a Severance TV show, or whether it's like Maze Runner. But like, pick and choose your sci-fi dystopias, because that's what these tech bros want at the end of the day. They just don't see themselves as like the victims in those stories. They see themselves as the heroes, but they're so narcissistic they don't realize they're also, what they're doing is the villain stuff. That's why they are searching for the villain all the time, because if they just looked in the mirror, they'd find it. But that tech, industrial, colonial age, like that whole era that is like just polluting the world, it's going to push off in that direction, attempting to get people to fully buy into complete tech codependence. Just like the world is under monetary, like fiat monetary codependence, but that's another conversation for another day. And then there's going to be people who are either so poor that they realize, oh, I could just go back to nature and connect to this infinite abundance. Or people who realize, I've been and seen so high, so much of this game, to realize that there is none of this is true fulfillment, none of this is true satisfaction, and the only thing that is true completion and satisfaction is full self-acceptance and fully going back to this natural reality that we are all connected to, we are all children of, and we are all served by, before all of these tech tools that we created to enslave each other to. That's going to be the big rift in reality. But you got to think right now, the owners of capital under capitalism want to invest in like their own technocratic monarchy or some shit. So they're going to invest in all the tech bros who are bringing in this age of ultimate convenience, not knowing that who is going to train these tools of ultimate convenience? Who are going to be the slaves that mine the technology that mass produces these things? What are going to be the communities that get destroyed and burned to the ground, and or just burned by climate change and global warming as a means of harvesting more energy to uphold data centers that create these virtual realities for rich people to exist in and fully validate their little Mount Olympus mentality as if they're gods on earth, as if they're not human beings? The United States never recovered from COVID. That's all I'm going to say right now. And the next 25 years are going to be absolutely fucking insane, bro. I hope you're ready to see what happens here, to a place that has poor infrastructure and is getting ready to get hit with a natural disaster.